How's it going, everybody? This is Jan Michael Vincent, and I'm back. We're recording the commentary here for part 2 of the pilot episode, Shadow of the Hawk. Now, where we left off last week, the British-sounding guy stole Airwolf, a high-tech helicopter, and he was using it for nefarious reasons, basically getting involved in Libya's civil war. And the firm, the people who built Airwolf, well, they came to find my character named Stringfella, an ex-pilot. They tried to convince me to get back in the game and hunt down Airwolf and the funny-sounding British guy. So that's where we left off. Now I'm going to press play here on the episode, so you should too. There we go. There's the title, Airwolf. That's me. I'm Jan Michael Vincent. Alex Cord's still an asshole, and good old Ernie Borgnine. That was Don. He's the guy who made the show. Now these are the same. This is the same valley. I mean, basically these are the exact same shots from the last episode. Just kind of use those again to save money. You don't need to go out there and shoot it again. That's the same newt or gecko or whatever it might be. I mean, that is the exact same shot. Now, there's the same eagle from the first episode. Now I got a sort of a sad story about him. I found out at the wrap party that about a week after we filmed this scene, that bald eagle was shot by a couple of hunters, and they ended up selling the carcass to a local diner, and it was that night's special. So that's kind of a sad story. It's a little bit about, sort of similar to when you read about the whale from Free Willy, and what an utter fucking shit show that guy went through after the movie. I won't go through it here, but you should look it up sometime on the internet. That's Belinda Bauer. She wanted me bad, hardcore. I'm a good-looking man. There's no way around it. Whoa, did you see that fish? That was cool. She likes my plan.
That was lovely.
Yeah, it was.
It's obvious you studied poker.
You seem to know everything about me.
I don't. I knew you played the cello well. I didn't know you serenaded eagles.
Trying to get her to trust me. Make her understand I won't hurt her if she gets close.
Now, this is what we call a metaphor. I'm talking about the eagle, but what I really mean is Belinda Bauer and her character. That dog, by the way, had the stinkiest breath. I mean, it smelled like a dead animal. Friendly dog, though, and did a lot of tricks, but stinky breath. I mean, look at the hog on him, too. Jesus Christ, it's almost X-rated. Old EB. Look at that, dog won't move. That's a good bit. Well, it's a good bit right here. See, Airwolf was an action movie, or action television show, I'm sorry, primarily, but we would filter in some comedy, from time to time.
Teach that mutt to keep out of my way, so help me, I'm gonna land on it. You know, I've been wanting to tell anyone where to land. You could have given me a hand.
I'm big on helping hands. And I am. Here, let me
I
take
was supposed to have a line there and I completely forgot it.
I don't believe it.
So whenever I couldn't remember a line, I found it helpful to just walk off camera.
God intended them.
the way God intended them.
I wouldn't press him, Gabrielle. I don't like the answers.
No, that I wasn't supposed to say anything. I just made that up on the spot. Don cursed and cursed, but every time we tried to get that shot, I just started talking.
Steaks and chops and burgers and all of it. Well, Ted and I end up eating most of them, but we keep hoping.
Bless your heart, I haven't had anything but
This scene is fun because in real life, Ernest Borgnine had an enormous appetite. I remember one time we were drunk and flying down La Brea Avenue. I decided to pull over and we'd go to Pink's Hot Dogs. And Ernie ate 29 hot dogs in one sitting. He was trying to get to 30 and ended up barfing all over La Brea Avenue.
Belisario's film. Oh. It'll only take an hour or so. You want to fix dinner?
How do you like the steak?
Oh, no. Count me out. I'm heading for the field just as soon as we get back. Still on two.
Two?
Yeah, one for Ted and one for you. Oh, yeah, and, get me a trout.
Huh.
Nice meeting you, Gabrielle.
Yeah, you too, Mr. Santini.
So I had a tough time with that last line. And the sort of walking to the door and saying my line and pausing and saying another one. And we had to do 325 takes. And finally got it right there at the end. The whole crew started clapping, but they were also exhausted.
Yeah, but don't tell her the skinny part. Get in touch with Tony Boswick. Get in touch? Got me on the phone for over an hour. From England yet, and with me paying. He remembered the time that he and your dad and I got drunk at Towbridge after the Schweigfurt raid, and we stole a pig from a nunnery.
I don't know what it is, but Ernest Borgnine just said the word drunk, and I feel like having a little sip of beer. God, that tastes like freedom.
Well, I guess you had to be there. It's Boswick's charter flight in Libya. Every Friday. He's going to have his engineer call in sick at the last second, and I'll replace him. But you can only pull it off once. More than that, the Libyans will get suspicious. Once is all we'll need. I'll fly to Tripoli a week from Wednesday. If you come in the Friday after that, that'll give me 2 days to set things up. I'll meet you at a club called the Red Castle. The Red Castle, okay. How long till we get there? About an hour. This is it. Valley of the Gods.
Oh,
Indians don't come up
I'm so sorry. I haven't just realized I haven't said anything in about a minute or so, but I've been transfixed by these helicopter flying scenes. I mean,
down. They never find you.
I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's the beer, if it's the high altitude of heaven, but that was an ethereal feeling. What happened there? I'm trying to remember where I was right there. A lot of people, you can't see it because it's below the camera, but I had puke on my shoes.
How far down to go? I don't know. I never hovered into it before.
Well, suck me sideways because here we got to sit through another commercial. I'm going to go and silence that for a minute. Do you have any questions about the show? I'm aware this is not filmed live, so what you can do is leave a comment on any of the on the YouTube or the SoundCloud, and I'll answer it eventually. Anybody else think those State Farm commercials are pretty funny? Okay, commercials over. Here we go.
Hey, thanks, Tom. Perfect. Anytime, straight. Anytime.
We were just as close, off camera as we were on. I can't get over how good of a guy he was, and I'm glad he's dead, I'm dead, so we're both up here in heaven. We're just having a hell of a time.
It smells so good, I'm almost tempted to.
Oh, shit.
Don't mind. Since you don't eat meat, I didn't want it to go to waste. Where's Gabrielle? I sent her ahead. We're moving up the timetable. 4 hours ago, one of our destroyers went down in the Gulf of Sirte. The press is being told that a missile went off in the magazine, that it was an accident. It was Airwolf. Damn it. The president used slightly stronger language. We've got 48 hours to recover Airwolf, or they're sending in the Marines. The Russians have a missile task force shadowing our carrier group in the Med. If we invade Libya, chances are it'll mean World War III. Damn, that was a good steak.
I was supposed to have a line there. As you can guess, any weird beat, weird pause you see, it's because old Jan Michael just couldn't remember what the fuck he was supposed to say.
Please, take care of the dog. Ted takes care of himself. Why'd you leave Gabrielle?
Really, that dog actually could prepare its own meals. It was weird. We decided to work it into the script.
I'm sorry about that, Hawk. I told the committee it was the wrong thing to do. I might have taken it out on her. You didn't, did you? No. Saved it for you.
And who is an American badass? Jan Michael Vincent. We practice that punch. They bring out what they call a combat instructor, and he's supposed to teach you how to throw a screen punch. And I thought it'd be funny if I just really reached back and hit Alex Cord, and he did not appreciate that. In fact, he went to see the doctor at the hospital because he thought he might have broken his cheekbone there, and that caused a whole half day of delays, and everyone was actually very mad that I did that, but it looked real good on camera, and at the end of the day, that's what truly matters.
Near as you can tell.
10 hours is rather short notice, Mr. Hawk. Follow me, please. He's been working in a remote section of Argentina for 5 years, went to college in Australia. I don't think you'll run into anybody who knows him. I've had his background capsulized in story form. Chapter 10. Try to read it before you speak to anyone on the plane.
I may be biased because I'm talking about myself, but am I not the total package right here? Look at those biceps. I could crush a beer can in between them, and I did. I got nice pectorals, swimmer shoulders. I mean, that is one hell of a body.
Even the underwear, I'm afraid.
And you can't see down below, but I got nice strong legs. Funny story, I actually lost one of my legs. It got amputated due to my drinking problem.
Angela is dead.
Well, it's not a funny story. It's more of a ironic story
It's an accident.
The Libyans made her.
because I was in such good shape. But drinking, it doesn't matter. I mean, you drink enough after a while, you could have the perfect body, but after a while, you'll reap the benefit. You'll no, they're not benefits. I'm sorry. You will. Fuck it. If you got a problem, don't drink. Speaking of,
Probably she was supplied by the same theatrical agency as Angela. Angela was very fragile. I say this one appears to be a little more substantial. You going to be questioning her? Eventually. Perhaps I can be of help.
so I think what you're supposed to glean from this scene is that he's gonna ask her out and court her, and hopefully romance stems from that. Now, here's a little thing about screen kissing. We talked about screen punching, but screen kissing is just as tricky. Just like the punch, I found it better to just do the real thing. And Belinda was a real trooper. She was okay with it, and she gave as good as she got. I mean, she snuck a tongue in there once or twice. And, I don't blame her. Why wouldn't she do that? She's getting to kiss Jan Michael Vincent. There's a photo of Louis Anderson there in the black and white on the top. And then I think below that's a woman in Vietnam. I never noticed this, but I have stains on my suit. Anybody else seeing that? That is disgusting. Here I am, supposed to look like a 1980s Humphrey Bogart, and I got a goddamn stain on my suit.
Where's your
It's a cafe. For the summer palace on the coast. Mirabai is an oil-pumping station next to it. Angela arranged papers in a truck for the two of you to get in. Here's the address. Guns under the sea. Each of them make two.
So this is a whole setup. He's trying to find Airwolf. She knows that the guy who's got it likes her.
Beach.
They're all in this strip club together, which is odd.
We're in this together.
Run the next Air Force flight out of here.
And there's a cut scene. It's actually a scene that I conceived of. And to Don's credit, he shot it. They did the whole shebang. But I thought it would be really funny if you have a shot outside of the club and people coming in and stuff, and there's valet parking. And like one of the valets takes away a Lamborghini, and then there's one more valet guy, and he's looking
Be an old woman.
for a car to park. And suddenly the Airwolf, like the wind starts picking up, you know what I mean? You see what I'm going with. The English sounding guy brought Airwolf to the burlesque joint, and now he's parking it with valet. And just you never see it, but like the wind picks up and the valet looks up and goes, "Where am I going to put that?" You know what I mean? Like I wrote the whole scene the night before at the bar. I cornered Don on set, And I said, hey, here's the scene. I told him all about it, basically, the joke. And he was unsure, and I said, how about this? You film it, or I'll beat the living hell out of you. Because, I was still a little buzzard from the night before. And anyway, he assembled the crew. We shot it. Half a day of shooting, and I thought it worked. Don thought it didn't work in the narrative here, but see, it would have just been right over there. I don't know. Funny scene, but
Hey, mister. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, it's me. George, my spiritual friend. Oh? Then I'll go back.
I mean, I said it before, but this whole episode has a real Casablanca feel, wouldn't you think? I mean, I guess I'm sort of a Humphrey Bogart / Harrison Ford / Carl Weathers / Albert Einstein type.
Well, I caught the news about the destroyer. I figured Airwolf might be behind it. So I flew out to the cabin and found Ted making eyes at some cute little thing in white who said she was house sitting for you. Didn't take a genius to figure out what happened to them. How long you been here? A couple of hours. I hung around the club for a while. Too many guys started asking too many questions, so I decided to stay out in the alley. I always did like to take the back way out of bars.
It was a fun day to show up, and there was a couple camels.
You think you can get this thing started?
They're weirder in real life, but I mean,
Sure, confident.
they let me ride one of them. Sat between the humps, and they carted me around the set, and they spit a lot. A lot of people don't know that, but camels spit.
One of those dancing girls was Gabrielle. Was. Oh? She going out with us? Yes. Oh. You know, girls didn't move like that when I was young. Boy. Of course, there was this one.
This is a funny visual bit, but what's going on here is,
She would vibrate like a jet.
there's a two shot of us. Now there's a two shot of the camel. I mean, that's
Your old man thought that. Now just start to go.
it's Abbott and Costello esque, I guess you would say.
Say it. Your old man thought she was the greatest thing since peanut butter. Of course, you haven't met your mom yet. Anyway, we had 48 hours before jumping off for Africa in a couple of B-17s we were ferrying to Rabat. This holiday, get the phones
Well, here we go with another commercial. We'll go ahead and mute that again. I mean, what would you say? How often a cell phone commercial plays on goddamn television? I mean, who doesn't have a phone at this point? I feel like every other commercial is for a fucking cell phone. So anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying the show so far, the audio commentary. Going to try and do all these episodes before I gotta pay for the Peacock, because again, they want me to do it, but they don't want to give me a free subscription. I mean, that is just outrageous. These huge conglomerates couldn't afford to give a poor dead guy the password. Okay, here we go. It's back on.
It's your thing.
Name?
You have my passport.
Name.
Gabrielle Admure.
Occupation.
God, I don't believe this.
Just answer my question.
I'm a hoofer. Yeah, it's a dancer.
Gabrielle. Is that
Now the guy in this scene, I can't remember his name, but I helped him get the gig because I saw him perform "Waiting for Godot" at a winery in Santa Barbara back in I think '76 or '77 or something, and he was captivating as one of the guys waiting for Godot. And it was also a very good winery. I remember they had about the best mozzarella sticks I'd ever had in my life. That's some footage. That cost a lot of money to shoot because we had to go to the warship and time it for the jets to go off.
Heading 170. Straight into Libyan coast. Trying to hit them out. There's no need for that. Eagle, your boys don't get that chopper in 4 hours. Our boys go in and blow it away.
Our boys, Captain, include women, one of whom has already given her life on this mission.
Oh, here we go.
Sorry, ma'am. It's just a figure of speech.
Eagle Patrol, Eagle 180 video.
It's funny, isn't it? All this hot sand, and yet you can see the blue waters of the Mediterranean, just a few miles away.
Well, I would say this is a classic woman in peril. I mean, this is a motif, a trope that dates back to the beginning of cinema. You would see the woman tied to the railroad tracks and the guy with the long mustache is twirling it. And it was still working in 1984, so eventually, no spoiler alert, but I'll save her.
Hey, what the hell is it? It's a Tu-36 Dodger. It's Russian made. You see those air missiles? Yeah. You know, String, in the past 2 hours we've seen tanks, anti-aircraft guns, SAM missile sites, and now a gunship. Want to check it out? Yeah. So do I.
Just a couple of crazy Americans. Oh, I got a newsie right here. We're about to fuck some shit up.
Buongiorno. It's Italian. I don't speak French.
Questi documenti sono per sabato prossimo.
I give you $10 if you can guess this guy's ethnicity. I mean, he's supposed to be Libyan. I think he just spoke Spanish. What do I know? And he looks like an Armenian. He was a local casting in Glendale.
Sabato è sempre sabato. Se fosse un martedì o anche un venerdì o una domenica.
Potete andare.
Ah, grazie molto, molto gentile. See, everybody speaks Italian. Here except me. If you and Sinjin had only studied the Italian like I asked you. But no, you got a hard head. Have those? Oh, huh? You are very beautiful. Perhaps not at the moment. You can be again.
He's smelling her hair
Water is so.
like a gentleman who just won the presidency of the United States. He's a hair sniffer. Yeah, that was a story in the news for a day, wasn't it? And it just kind of went away.
That would be cruel, being Mediterranean's very salt.
There are better ways to get a tan. Oh man, he just smacked her right in the face with the rope. I wonder if he did that on purpose. That would be some good behind the scenes, not info I could drop for you, but I have to wait for him to die and come up here and I can ask him. But we're already recording, so. Now the Uzi was a popular gun in rap songs, and you would often hear it either rhymed with or in the same verse of a girl named Susie. Seemed like in the 80s in hip hop, a lot of women named Susies carried around submachine Uzis.
Come on, Chuck. You can't just swim, eat grapes, and play around all the time. What's the matter with you? I just talked to Captain Ben Mofty. He said Moffat has that dancer from the Red Castle staked out to a sand dune somewhere, tortured. For what? She's nothing to us. Well, she is to me.
Yep, you guys are about to get Jan Michael'd.
Of course, there is still time for me to save you. I mean, you may scar a little. Isn't that better than dying? You like me to save you.
Oof, she is in rough shape. That is, forming on her face is a sun bubble. So when you get sun poisoning, you start getting these blisters. And I got it once. Vacation in Daytona Beach. You can guess it, I got drunk on the beach. Fell asleep, was in the sun for about 8.5, 9 hours. Just baked. As red as menstrual blood. And sure enough, I had all these painful blisters on my body and ended up spending the rest of that vacation in the hospital. Which is usually how my vacations end up.
Moffat? Right. We're told to stand down. Check light. Just a minute. Start the engines. Charles? Why do you have your helmet on in this heat? Lift your visor. Started, he says. Lift your visor.
Now, that scene feels weird because my character's not saying anything. But that actually wasn't me in that first couple scenes. Boom! Kick, punch. Fuck you up. You got Jan Michael'd. But those wide shots, that wasn't even me. I was MIA that day, and they ended up putting the key grip in my costume and just filming those scenes. And when I finally was located, they had to shoot the rest of the scene. Yeah, those guys are dead. This aired on regular old TV at 8 p.m. Usually it's got to be a school shooting to see that kind of firepower, but, you know, an Airwolf, it's just a regular old thing. I don't even know what that means. I wanted to do a school shooting joke, and, you know, occasionally Jan Michael's just going to, you know, shoehorn in some bits and jokes, and I'm doing this on the fly, so they're not all going to make sense or, you know, be funny.
See anything? Nothing. But I ain't sure I'm working it right either. Cracked. Hey, straight. I got it working. Yeah. Oh, I can see real good. Hey, I can see. My God.
So here I come to the rescue. Now, I remember we went out to Death Valley to shoot this section, and as you can get, it was really hot. It was about 125 degrees, and I mean, that'll dry you right out, and especially if you're like me and you only drink 5 glasses of water a year and relied on booze to fuel myself. You know, I can tell you that this was a tough shoot. Tough shoot. Real tough shoot. I was good for about 10 minutes. We'd shoot the scene, and then I'd immediately pass out, and they'd have to give me IV treatments. And I remember one point they had to use the paddles. But all that being said, I think I turned in a hell of a performance here. And Belinda turns in a hell of a performance. I mean, I really do believe that she's a whore dying of, you know, heat exhaustion and exposure. I mean, this is just a goddamn tender scene.
Gabrielle.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, that's, again, I'm biased, but that's good acting. You know, Dawn asked if I could cry for the scene, but again, I was dried out. I mean, there wasn't anything inside me because of that heat. A lot of tricks actors use is they think of something sad, and then that helps convey their emotions on screen. And in that moment, I was thinking about some money I lost on a Detroit Tigers game, and it was a substantial sum of money even for a 80s TV star. I mean, it's just Airwolf in action right here. I'd say Don did a hell of a job shooting all this stuff. This is, this is cinematic and it's exciting and it might not say better than Dunkirk, which came out a few years ago while I was still alive, and I got to see for free at the SAG members with disabilities screening because I had lost my leg due to drinking. And frankly, I didn't care for Dunkirk. I thought it was a bunch of British Nancy boys running around, and everyone knows America won World War II. So this is almost like a music video. I mean, it's almost like the narrative stopped and it's rare to go that long without any dialogue in a TV show. And I'm not even one for dialogue. I'd rather not ever say anything, but I'm just saying this seems a little odd. I mean, that's the same shot. You just used same shot of that guy driving twice. You can tell me this helicopter hasn't caught up to that fucking piece of shit Jeep? That's some more stock footage. I mean, it could be more obvious. It's like, wouldn't you think that Stringfella and Ernest Borgnine would be talking back and forth like, hey, a missile's coming at us? Yeah, I gotta be honest. I wish I was more critical when I was alive doing the show. I mean, I just feel like I should have, as the star, should have said, raised some concern. I mean, this is ridiculous. But I didn't. I didn't really, I just saw myself as an actor and all-around playboy. And so I didn't really ever, to be honest, this is the first time I've ever seen this episode. I didn't even watch the own show I was in. So he clearly thinks that Airwolf got blown up. But, obviously, I don't think I'm ruining things for anybody, but that's not the truth. See, there we are, we're back. I'm going to squint, look real mean, and blow him away. Yeah, I'm sorry not to be critical again, but did he think that little revolver was going to do anything? I mean, let's not even consider that Airwolf has, bulletproof, a bulletproof exterior. I mean, that revolver wasn't even within range. I mean, it's not like you could just shoot across the desert with a fucking 6-shooter. Anyway, I blasted him away.
String, it's done.
Now, a funny story, that reminds me of a time I was in the hospital near death after one of my many car accidents that I got into because of boozing. And they had to give me pain medication to keep me alive. And I remember I kept pumping for it, you know what I mean? Just kept clicking away. And they'll give me another shot of morphine or whatever they give you when you get drunk and crash your Porsche into the Chateau Marmont. But yeah, I kept clicking away just like Stringfella was clicking for the missiles. I was clicking for another shot of painkiller. I don't want to repeat myself, but over the course of all these episodes, I'll probably be talking about a lot because I got into a lot of car accidents. I mean, a lot. I think I totaled 4 different Buick LeSabres and Again, Jan Michael used to tie one on and just put pedal to the metal and just drive down Sunset or La Brea or Melrose or around to school or wherever. It didn't matter. I was drunk driving everywhere, and I crashed a lot of cars. In fact, I didn't even. Someone once asked me about it when I was alive. I didn't even recall it. I mean, you can look that up on my Wikipedia. I had a complete blank spot about one of my car crashes. Yeah. Sometimes, that's my school of acting. Just sometimes you just need one line. So you can say it to a dog, and it conveys a lot of emotion. My paintings are back. My Van Goghs.
I saw it my way. Where'd you hide it, Hawk? Mountains? Desert? At that junkyard Santini calls an airfield? I know he was with you in Libya. Our little secret. But you got to turn it. They'll throw you in a hole so deep it'll take sunlight a month to reach you. It's wired. I don't make a phone call every 24 hours. I told the committee you'd do something like that. I told you. What's in you?
I'm having fond memories of that sweater. One thing I had in my contract was I could keep my wardrobe, and NBC honored that. And, sometimes I got really nice sweaters like this one.
Very upset.
Now, usually I did that because as soon as they yelled cut, I just walked off the set and walked right to the bar to drink myself to death, and I just could not waste time taking off my costume, so, they had to just allow me to keep it. But again, sometimes, I really got the good end of the deal, because that is a fine LL Bean sweater.
Lost it again. Hell, even if you were to give it back, there's no way the president would ever let the firm use it. I'm not giving it back. It's not for this. I know. But Hawk, as long as you've got Airwolf, Uncle Sam's minions have to keep looking for your brother. They also have to try to get it back from you. That's just the way the game's played.
So he's just setting up the entire series right there.
Firm can help you. Let you know what the other agencies are doing to entrap you, supply you with funds. Lots of things. In exchange for using Airwolf on official business. It's the only way we're gonna get to use it. And probably the only way you won't get caught. Where's your ride? He said you had better ears than a super mic. Well, think about it.
NBC had to tell me to think about it. I remember we had tense negotiations, because again, I had a lot of things on my desk that I wanted to do, like CEO, Chief Executive Officer, and some other pictures like that. And they were offering me, I thought they were lowballing me, to be honest. And, I said, who do you think the fuck I am? Ken Wall? I'm Jan Michael Vincent. You pay me Jan Michael Vincent money. And they added another zero and then said, think about it. And I thought about how much Jameson I could buy with just, one episode of salary. And so I came back to the table, and that's why I signed on to the show, you know. I mean, that is the second emotional scene I give in 10 minutes. I mean, I was a better actor than I think people remember. Most people just remember that I got drunk and had my leg amputated. And those things are true. Those things definitely happened. But I was also a pretty damn good actor. Now that's a different eagle that we shot. Because again, the first eagle was blown out of the sky by a couple hunters. This one, I don't know what happened to this one. I'm assuming it lived a long, bald eagle life, but hey, it might have gotten hit by hunters too. That was a thing in the 80s. A lot of people don't remember. But we had to stop American eagle hunting. I mean, people went out and shot an American eagle. Very patriotic people too. It's always a little queer, and I don't mean homosexual. I mean like it's just a weird thing that somebody who considered themselves so patriotic would shoot the American eagle. But people were picking them out, right out of the trees, right out of the sky. That's a beautiful shot of me. Don, you did a hell of a job. I mean, there was one section that kind of stunk, that long montage, but what? You don't even go through the credits? All right, that was the okay, I guess Peacock said I'm done watching that. Well, that was part 2 of the pilot episode, and thanks for watching along, and we'll be back with episode 2, I guess, or episode 3. I don't know what the hell that would even be called, but next episode called Daddy's Gone Hunting. That's the real title of it, and I'm the daddy they're referring to is me, of course, and I go hunting. So, yeah, until then, just keep cool, man, and, hang 10 and, slap me 10 and all stuff like that. But I'm Jan Michael Vincent, and I'll be seeing you.